Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Chris. I think we all know that fragrances are expensive, so I like to dedicate at least one video per season to nothing but affordable offerings, and I think I've got 10 for you. Before I get started, let us all know down below what some of your favorite affordable fragrances for the colder weather are, and with that, I'm just gonna get started. Some of these fragrances you've seen me talk about before, others you've never seen me talk about. Why don't I just get one out of the way that I've talked about before, but I think it's really, really good for the colder weather. This is Kate Spade Sparkle. So this is like a pink floral gourmand. This has peony and rose, but it also has a really pretty juicy black currant note and a creme brulee note. So this is like you took a black currant creme brulee and you mixed it with some pink florals. It's very nice. It wears on the lighter side, but I don't care. I got this big 3-ounce bottle for around $25, $30, and I think it's really great. All right, there are a lot of fragrances that fall into that kind of that boozy cinnamon, apple, vanilla fragrance profile. My favorite at the moment, this beat out several, is Teriaq Intense. This was super viral for a time and then kind of died down because there's always some new release, like chasing the new release. Well, I like to stick with the things that I like, and I think Teriaq Intense is a beautiful take on that DNA, and Quentin Biche is the perfumer behind this fragrance. I love this because it is a boozy cinnamon apple type of a fragrance, but it has a little bit of a plum liqueur. So this would fall into the category of like a khamra or a kamakawa or something in that line, but this is less spicy. This is less woody. So for those of you who thought that fragrance was a little bit too spicy, too woody, too masculine, this has less of that, and then add in a little bit of plum liqueur, so a little bit sweeter. So a fruity, boozy sweetness. There's something in here that's a little bit bright, that has like a bright freshness that those other perfumes don't have. And I want to say this has like bergamot in the top, but it's kind of like a nice mix and match type of a fragrance. I think this is spectacular. I think you can get it for well under $50, and I think it's a great bang for your buck if you like that type of a style. Okay, one of my favorite profiles of all time is a spicy, incensey vanilla. The best, in my opinion, dupe of Baby Cat, and I love that. That Baby Cat is a fragrance that's gonna be, it's a lifer for me. And I don't typically keep dupes and an original because I think it's a little bit redundant, but I love this perfume, Rifaaqat. I've had this since it released, and I have no interest in trying anything else. Do I need it when I have Baby Cat? No, but this is such a good perfume that I don't mind having a little bit of an overlap, and this is like an Arabian Middle Eastern perfume where I really, really like the bottle. I don't have to hide it in the back of my closet. I love that it's sleek, it's minimalistic, and is it a one-to-one dupe of Baby Cat, a perfume that I know very, very well? No. And the big difference is in the opening. The opening of Baby Cat is very spicy. There's a lot, you get a lot of pepper. You get pink pepper, you get black pepper, there's resins. It's very, very spicy. This one doesn't have all those spices. This one drops right in to kind of the middle notes. So it is a suede, vanillic, incense, leather fragrance, and it kind of skips over all those spices and gets right to the meat of the fragrance. So incensey, vanillic, suede perfume. It has a little bit of spices. There's a little bit of resins, a little bit resinous, but not to the degree of Baby Cat. This isn't quite as sweet as Baby Cat, and in the dry down, they are much harder to pick apart. So I love this, and I think I paid like $20, $25 for this. Fantastic perfume. Okay, a fragrance that I've shown lots of times. This is by Rosanna, or no, this is by Rasasi, and this is Qasamat Ebhar. This is a very fruity amber perfume. If you have tried or smelled or have the fragrance Casablanca by Swiss Arabian, this is very, very similar. This is more vanillic. That's one is more ambery and has a heavier praline note. And this is a little bit more fruity. So this is green apple. And I think the fruits in that one might be grape or pear. But this is like a vanilla apple amber. I do think this one has praline in it as well, but it's not quite as sweet as Casablanca. And it's more vanillic and less ambery, if that makes sense. I get a little bit more of like that baking, cakey vanilla in this one. It's really, really pretty. Again, Really pretty bottle, and I picked this up for less than $35. This is going to be unisex to very masculine leaning. If you typically only like feminine leaning fragrances, this is not going to be for you. If you are one of my male viewers, or you're a viewer who tend to like warmer, spicier, woody, patchouli, leathery fragrances, this one is called Mohra. I have Mohra Silky. It's the rose fragrance, which is very pretty. But this is just Mohra by Lattafa. This is, I want to say, a clone or impression of Halfeti. And I have smelled both. I have samples of both Halfeti and Halfeti Cedar, and I think it falls somewhere in between the two of them. This is a very peppery, woody perfume with lots of patchouli and lots of labdanum. Labdanum to me smells like a sweet leather. So take pepper, take like a strong cedar, take a pretty heavy patchouli, and a sweet leather note. Combine them and you're going to come up with this. This is like, I think this cost me $19. So if you liked Halfeti Cedar, and it's a very expensive perfume and you love that profile, but you don't have the coin, this one is a really good alternative. Okay, one you've never seen me talk about. This is a beautiful fragrance that gets absolutely zero attention, and I just happened to stumble upon it. This is called Nexa Musée, and this, I don't know if you can see the bottle. This is an absolutely stunning bottle. It's almost like a pink holographic bottle. Absolutely beautiful. And when I smell this, it reminds me a lot, I don't know if this is a dupe, but it reminds me a lot of Prada Paradox. So it's a dense white flower. I would say, and I know Prada Paradox, I just picked up a bottle. It's very, very pretty. White flowers, orange blossom, it's got some pear. This one has less orange blossom, and I definitely get a jasmine in here. But the jasmine in here is really, really pretty. So if you want a jasmine forward version of Prada Paradox, and I'm talking about the EDP, not the new Intense, and not the new one that smells like popcorn. This smells very, very similar. I would say the florals in here are a little bit denser. It's not quite as sweet. I think this one does have a little touch of a pear sweetness, but it's not as sweet as Prada Paradox. So again, same white florals. This one has a little bit more jasmine, and it's not quite as sweet, a little bit less pear. And I think this giant bottle cost me $25 on Joma Shop. Fantastic deal. The fragrance videos that claim to have clones better than the originals, those get the most views. And if I wanted to simply get tons of views, I would do videos of that over and over again. The problem is that in all honesty, I think it's near impossible for a dupe or clone to be exactly the same or better than the original. There are exceptions. And after testing literally hundreds and hundreds of clones and dupes, I've come up with a handful of fragrances that, in my opinion, are better than the original. This one is the next one. Now, I can't stand the bottle. I'm going to doll it up. I think I'm going to get my glue gun out and go to Michael's and get some like rhinestones and put it on this bottle, because this bottle is absolutely ridiculous. But it is Angham by Lattafa. This is a dupe or clone or an impression of Burberry Goddess. And this is the one instance, or one of the very few instances, that I think this is better. Why is it better to me? The vanilla is very good. So that one is a vanilla lavender cacao fragrance. The vanilla in here is so good. It's not it's not scratchy, it's not screechy, it's not harsh. It is super smooth. This has lavender, but the lavender compared to Burberry Goddess is toned down. And I love that. That's why I like this so much better. So it's vanilla and then lavender and a little bit of cacao in the background. This has really, really good performance. It's a beautiful perfume, and I think one of the best Middle Eastern Arabian fragrance releases definitely in the past couple years. And the last one I'm going to show, I've never shown before, is by a house called Kadlaj, and this is another one I stumbled across. This is Island Vanilla Dunes. Now, this, I believe, is an impression, or will get you very close to Parfums de Marly Alter, which is a nice perfume. And I know last year there was a fragrance called Liquid Brun that was supposed to be a 1-to-1. I've tried that one. Me, personally, I like this better. Why do I like this better? To me, that one, Liquid Brun, I don't know what it is about it. It leans ever so slightly more masculine. So this fragrance profile, if you don't know, is a spicy vanilla with florals, with orange blossom and a little bit of cinnamon. So a cinnamon, vanilla, floral, little bit spicy fragrance. There's something about this fragrance that I like better than Liquid Brun, and I think it's a fantastic alternative to the very expensive Altair. This is great. I think this one was a little bit more expensive, maybe $40, $45. I think when you compare the price of this to the Altair, this one is significantly much more affordable, and I think this is beautiful. It's not quite as woody as, you know, the Liquid Brun, and it's very, very similar. It's very, very similar to Altair. And if you put these two together, I've shown this before, this is my second bottle of Vanilla Romance. Boy, if you layer these, you are gonna smell like $1,000,000. In fact, just wearing this alone is going to smell like a perfume. So that was it, maybe 8 to 10 affordable offerings for the fall and winter month. Let me know what you think. If you haven't mentioned already, let us all know down below what some of your favorite affordable picks for fall are. Thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for watching. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.